Hey guys, welcome back to Dracula Love Story, and we're playing episode 4 of season 2. It says, what is Leo hiding, and what is being hidden from him? Well, that'll be interesting, because we've been dying to find out. It's like something's been spinning back in my mind. Like, I hadn't forgotten about the whole, that we don't know much about Leo, and about the secret business thing he has going on, and stuff like that. There's only been small droplets of it, because mostly they were trying to focus on the bigger mystery, which was, well, not necessarily bigger, but seemingly bigger mystery, the more obvious in your face one, the fact of Vlad, so not the whole thing is going on. Yeah, so I've taken a second to calm down from the last episode. I did some work in between. So, I'm gonna try again to be on my best behavior. You know what? I'm not gonna promise to be on best behavior. I can't. Whatever's gonna happen is just gonna happen. And right now we're waiting for a very long loading screen again. But hey. Chapter 4: Punishment. I ran across the hall as though in a fog. Surprised faces and voices blinked, disappeared. I neither saw nor heard them. Only when I found myself outside did I stop. I started breathing. Fear, hurt, and misapprehension tangled up inside of me like a knot of vipers. Why did he do that? He knew I was scared, and he frightened me even more. He hit my weakest spot. The one who's always been so thoughtful has been keeping me safe. I reviewed the most recent events, trying to understand them. It's not that hard to comprehend. One moment was particularly remarkable. Vlad staring daggers at Ruthven. My heart skipped a beat. He didn't turn to scare me. He'd been like that all the time we were talking. Ruthven has awakened the dark side in him. I saw the situation from Vlad's point of view. I imagined him standing and listening to my apology, unable to turn around. It hurt. It asked me to stay away, but no, I just had to invade his space. All my pretty words about being braver and accepting him. But when he turned around in that guise, I ran away immediately. It wasn't him. It was I who hit the weakest spot for the second time in a row. Melody, are you alright? Leo and Sandra were approaching me. I tried to wipe my tears away. I don't know. Has Vlad changed his mind? No, he's staying here. They came closer and noticed my tear-stained face. Melody, too many things have happened today. You're tired, and so is he. We'll need some rest. Yes, let's go home and come back tomorrow morning to talk to him calmly. I nodded, feeling absolutely exhausted. We headed to the parking lot. Yeah, by all means, just walk away and let him continue to think that you're still afraid of him, because, you know, that matters. Honestly, whether she pops up now or later, to me, her words are going to be empty and meaningless until she's proven for at least half a season that she can be trusted. I need half a season to think of her as anything less than useless and ridiculous. A car was waiting for us there. The driver stepped out to greet us. Good evening. His features were strict, but his freckles made him look mischievous. Thanks, man. You're really helping us out. Melody, meet Henry, my old friend. I could barely distract myself from dark thoughts. Hello, Henry. Some time ago, my first training started and immediately ended with him knocking me down. Training in what? In fighting? I mean, you say this as if you'd already told us that you've been training in fighting. I mean, we obviously figured that out from you being a boss at the big battle in the castle, but... Well, a year later, you were the one knocking everyone down. Even me, despite the fact that I'm older. Now we work together. Henry's the best member of the agency. Of what agency? Henry's face turned strict again. So, where are we going? Sandra, you can stay with me. My mom is occupying the guest room, though, but we'll figure something out. Thanks, but Leo's already invited me. Yeah, I need to crowd together. My place is bigger. By the way, Millie's there, too. My sister's at your house now? Yes, Kathy called me and told me. They just couldn't wait until tomorrow to meet up. So... Wait, she just told you that they just went to your house? Oh, wait, no. His little sister. I forgot. Him and Millie, Millie's friends with his little sister or something, right? Or something like that. They begged your mom and she let Millie go to the sleepover. Maybe you should come as well. I'll take you both to your home tomorrow. I thought about it. We must be sleeping already. We won't talk until the morning anyway. Maybe next to Leo when I'm too closer to Sandra. That'll be your friend. No, you were not cheating on Vlad. After everything that had happened, I didn't feel like parting from them. I think I'll feel safer with them. My friends cheered when I agreed to go, and soon we left the castle. The road didn't like my pain, but it made it a little more bearable. I was just as sad, but it wasn't hurting anymore. Just like me and Millie, Leo was living in the southeastern part of Lastville. His house was on the most picturesque street, Last Cove Park, right by the Cove. His name, so original. Since the surface of the water glimmered and arose under the streetlights, I kept turning to it. So your house with a view to the ocean? Yeah, I didn't look very specifically. I just liked the house. I don't really like water that much, but it can be beautiful from afar. Yes. You're here. Oh, she changed her hair, thank goodness. She looks much better. Millie ran out of the house, followed by a red-haired girl. Leo. And she has Max on her shirt. I infinitely already like his girl way better. Now, Victor is cool too, but I'm just saying. He laughed, picked his sister up, and spun her around. Mama, how are you doing? Almost dying with envy. I wish you explained where you were going, so I've known Millie could be there, and I could have tagged along with you. Leo let his sister go and introduced to each other. And now everyone get inside. It's windy here. I'll take our baggage. Henry, can you open the trunk? Sure, one sec. The girls and Sandra went inside. I lingered in the small hallway by the entrance. A car rolled in the driveway, and I heard the guys' surprised voices. Is that Alan Aquil? Yes, it's him. What, I guess at this hour? I peeked through the half-open door. A bulky black car was standing in front of the house, and there was a man next to it. The streetlight was highlighting his proud posture and hawk-like profile. Good evening, Mr. Aquil. Thank you for helping with the plane, and... The profile winced. Don't mention it. That's what Tetra is for. Tetra? I'll prepare the report tomorrow. No need. This case is exclusively Leo's now. We're only helping when the need arises. That's what the powers that be decided. Since I hold the cause above everything else, I'm obeying the order. However, the man clenched his fingers and they cracked. I'm not ready to let things slide. After all, this is my territory. Don't you trust me, Alan? I would like to. That's why I came. Everyone has weak spots, Leo. The weakest being our attachments, be it a friend or a lover. When feelings take control, the mind goes dim and we lose our strength. This girl, Melody Burnell, is very important. What? Are they talking about me? You heard your name, didn't you? But there's something even more important. And I want to be sure that if there's ever a choice between her and the cause, you choose the cause. I'm not supposed to face that choice. Yes, but sometimes you have to sacrifice your bait if you want to catch a big fish. Tell me you're ready for it, Leo, and I'll be on your side entirely. Leo hesitated with his answer only for a moment, but it felt like eternity to me. It's late, Alan. Good night, and thank you for your concern. Henry, see you tomorrow. Leo turned around and walked towards the house. The man grinned. I'll keep watching you, and if you ever take a false step... But Leo didn't turn around as he opened the door. I barely jumped to the side. Melody? Why are you here? Kathy looked out. Leo, are you coming? Uh-huh. Let's go, Melody. I'm coming. Be right there. I walked in and I stayed behind to sort my thoughts out. I reached to close the door, but noticed that Henry and Aquil were still in the driveway. They're talking about something. Listen closely again. Just gave him this case, and they're even willing to help? Is it a setup, or has the world turned upside down? No setup. I'm just as surprised as you are. He was looking to the side as if he was talking to himself instead of Henry. The higher-ups are very worried. We know huge darkness is coming, but no one knows where from. They're talking about a big glitch in the structure, and you know how that is. All we know for now is that the black swirl is tightening up around this girl. All we can do is stay close to her and wait for the darkness to manifest itself. So Leah was chosen for this? Yes, don't get me wrong, I don't mind him. I even like him, but he's too young. He's not ready yet. No one even explained to him properly who he is, so we must remain close. We? Let's be honest, Henry. You all are tired of playing second fiddles. For hundreds of years, all the big cases have been ours, and you get the trifles. But it hasn't always been this way. The pride in the pack used to be equal until 600 years ago. I know, Matt told me. It's not fair that because of one. I agree, it's not fair, but authority is brittle. After that case, the pride became less trusted. This case is your chance to change everything and regain your good name. You can't let it slide. A quill touched Henry's shoulder. Watch your friend, son. Stay alert and call me in case of any. Henry frowned. Matt believed in Leo. He believed in all of us, but especially in him. Before he died, the mentor said his main mission was to meet and prepare Leo. And if so, I believe Leo too. And I'm not going to spy on him for you. Aquila approached the car slowly. Maybe you're not as special as Leo, but you're definitely more serious and experienced than he is. I believe that if you see the case going wrong, you'll make the right call. And then you know how to find me. I pressed my back against the wall, trying to wrestle with my sudden anxiety. What's going on? What were they talking about? I'm bait? Leo's special? Black swirl? Pride? Pack? No, stop overthinking. Talk to Leo and clear everything up. A pride. Like actual lions? In a pack like werewolves? Is it not a Is it not a coincidence that Kathy is wearing a Mac shirt and Millie is wearing a Victor shirt? I thought that was just like a quirky little, oh hey, call out, but he in the words pack. Huh. I headed inside decisively. I stepped in the living room and I realized how cold I was, but it was so warm and cozy here that my worries faded for a moment. Sandra and Millie were sitting on the pillows by a bio fire. Kathy was creating something by the stove. The room was filled with a delicious smell. Millie, there you are. Whoa, everybody's changing clothes. Hey, she looks good. Hello. Oh, when did you have time to change? While you were hanging out there? Let's go. I'll show you your room. Come back soon. The hot chocolate's almost ready. Maybe we shouldn't drink it this late? Why not? You're not gonna go to sleep now, are you? You can't miss out on an evening like this. It's past midnight, not an evening. So what? You've slept on the plane. Why don't we sit and drink chocolate for a bit? I think it's okay. Hooray, then we'll be waiting for you. I like this room. This is really nice. Leah took my suitcase and we went upstairs. Here's your domain for the night. Thank you. I knew everyone was waiting for us and it wasn't the best time for explanations, but I couldn't keep it in anymore. All this time, Leo has been by my side for a reason. Maybe he didn't lie to me, but he was definitely hiding the truth. On the other hand, he let Aquila know he wouldn't sacrifice me even for the case. Actually, he didn't answer the question. But I know he wouldn't. But my emotions were mixed. Still. How about we just don't jump to conclusions? We can also be grateful. I think this one's completely wrong. She doesn't have the right to be angry with anybody. Except maybe Millie. Yeah, we're so grateful. He's always been there for me in times of danger and saved me so many times. I spoke softly. Leo, I happened to hear the conversation in the front yard. His eyes lit up with surprise, which shifted into sadness immediately. Melody, I'm sorry. I'm not mad. On the contrary, I'm thankful to you for staying close and keeping me safe. But I really want you to tell me everything as it is. He paced around the room, stopped, and sighed. I did come to Romania for Nosferatu, and I didn't even know about you back then. But on the second day of my stay, the day before you arrived, Nella came to me. Do you remember her? Yes, I do. I've told you before, her father, Matt, was my mentor both in sports and in life in general. He mentored me a lot more than other guys, and he would teach me strange things sometimes, like fighting with a medieval sword. When I asked him why, he would tell me that I understand in time. So Nella arrived in Romania to tell me it was time to use everything her father taught me. She told me that I didn't end up there on accident. It was because of a girl I'd soon meet. That she's in grave danger, and that's what pulled me to her. Not the kind of danger I'm used to dealing with, something dark, inhuman. I was supposed to protect the girl and find the dark creature that had started hunting her. It was my mission, and that's what they had been preparing me for all along. Of course, it all sounded really strange. I found it hard to believe. But you did? Yes, here's the thing. Ever since I was a kid, sometimes my strength would grow tenfold and more. It would happen if someone was in danger. I used to think everyone had this thing, but then it turned out no one did. Anyway, I was already aware I wasn't entirely normal. And the next day I met you, then Vlad, and you know the rest. The dark creature, could Vlad be it? Why would you automatically assume that he was the one hunting you? Like, at this point, why would you assume that? See, this is my problem. She automatically always assumes the worst of him. Always. Every time. I thought that at the start, but now I'm not sure it's him. Well, I'm sure it's not him. I don't know how much about the one we're looking for, but I know that even by the dark power's standards, it's something extremely evil. It knows no mercy, is devoid of sympathy. Vlad's not like that at all. He's connected to the darkness, but he suffers from it. Yes. Who's Aquil? Was he the one who helped you get here? Yes. When I founded my security agency, Matt suggested us to join Tetra. It's a powerful organization with very good connections. At first, it helped us immensely. But there's always a flip side. Constant control, reports, often they would simply use us. Alan Aquil is the head of Tetra in our area. When your case arose, he wanted to have it. But somehow they wouldn't let him. They ordered to just help me. So of course he's wary of me now. Do you think he could harm you? Aquil is a precision man, and he puts the cause above everything else. So as long as I'm following the intended course, harming me is out of the question. But if I ever stray... When you went inside, he was talking to Henry about you. Yeah? What exactly? I told Leo everything I heard. He thought it over. Strange. Matt has never mentioned anything like that to me. A pride, the lost authority. So he's saying something happened 600 years ago? He said so. It's the same time period you see through the paintings, with the other you, me, and Vlad. Do you think it might be connected? I don't believe in coincidences in the story anymore. I need to ask Henry. Maybe he'll tell me more. We fell silent for a while. Sorry for not telling you right away, but I was prohibited from doing so, and I wasn't sure how to explain it all. I see. We heard footsteps on the stairs, and Kathy peeked into the room. Are you coming? Let's go before it gets cold. We went down to the living room, and Kathy poured everyone a cup of hot chocolate, took my cup, and sat by the fire. Leo sat by the fire as well, and the girls were there already. Millie was holding Nosferatu, trying to cheer him up. Oh, is it because we didn't bring a friend? I guess the trip didn't help him. He was just as sad. It was completely different in Romania, active and cheerful. I reached for the cat and gave him a pat. Nosferatu, are you missing your friend? Friend? Yeah, he met a black cat there. Her name was Jade. The cat heard the name, raised his head, and meowed pathetically. Oh, I guess he's missing her, indeed. What a shame we left in such a hurry. Maybe we could have taken her with us. All this time, Sandra was copying something from a book to a sheet of paper. There it is, already. Huh? Romanian poetry. I bought some local discs and books before we left and brought them here to show Kathy. Yeah, and Sandra agreed to translate something for us. Well, I did all I could. I'm not a poet, so first the Romanian version. George Bracavio, Adio. Sandra started reciting the poem. Her melodic voice and the soft streaming words filled the living room. With each line, I felt a subtle aching feeling come over me. Sadness, pain, and the longing between two people that cannot be destroyed by goodbyes or distance. At some point, I realized I was understanding the words. Sandra was declaiming the translation already. Goodbye. The leaf is falling down, withering away like you. Stay here. Don't you cry. Forget me now. A love has taken a step and disappeared in the mist. Insane. I'm calling out to it from the autumn emptiness. Hold on, don't go. Touch me with your tender hand again. Tell me, what is autumn punishing us for? Why are the leaves falling down? Poor Vlad. Visions before my eyes made me choke up. I heard Vlad speaking to me through the poem, and I felt his pain. Instead of the joy of the meeting, he got a goodbye. Instead of holding me, he had to scare me and chase me away. I know he really wants to stay, but he'll leave soon, just to keep me away from his darkness. Such a sad poem. Cove is considered the saddest of the Romanian poets. Yes, but the melancholy is so beautiful. Thank you, Sandra. I loved it. Leo got up to get himself more chocolate. Mama, you make the best hot chocolate in the world. In fact, everything you cook is the best, opposing to my cooking. Kathy snickered. Good thing you're not a good cook. If you were, you'd be absolutely perfect, and you'd be unbearable. Millie giggled, pointing at her friend's shirt. What about your favorite Max? He cooks. She rolled her eyes wistfully. Yes, he's the best, but even Max has a fault. He's made up. So, to them, is it from a game or a book? Or Leo returned to us with his cup full. Do you and Kathy live here alone? Yes, Mom never managed to love Lastville. A couple of years ago, I got her a small house in her hometown. Now she lives there, busy with her greenhouse. What about your dad? I decided to stay here. I didn't have to move to the backwoods. Well, Lastville isn't a metropolis either. Its territory isn't that big. I live in here. Keeps taking spots on all the lists of the cozies of the city with the most delicious food in the States. Right? Sandra, you just have to try our sub burgers. They're delicious. I'd love to. I compare them to the ones we had at Jersey. You lived in New Jersey? For 3 years. I went there for an internship, got accustomed to the place, and stayed. But it's time to change something in my life. I'll start looking for a new place to live. Stay here. If only it was that simple. My game just randomly crashed. We talked for a while about the city, the girls' studies, and my work. Melody, you restore paintings? Do you draw yourself? No. Why not? Isn't it more interesting to create rather than work on someone else's paintings? There are many genius paintings out there already. I'd rather restore them than create my own mediocre ones. Yeah, I should have seen how mediocre. I remember her drawings from when she was a teen. They were beautiful. Millie. Thanks. I guess they were beautiful. I've got a decent technique, but that's not what matters. A painting is good when the artist says something to the world through it and it looks like I had nothing to say. Look at the empty cup in my hands. I believe we should get to sleep. I second that. Or maybe we can stay for a little longer? I can put a Romanian song if you want to. Fine, one song and then everyone goes to sleep. The happy girls got up to put on the disc. The sounds of ethnic musical instruments went alive in the living room, tingling of the bells, flute warbles, guttural voices of some pipes. The music smelled like a mountain morning, dew on my shoes and time in bloom. So beautiful. Closed my eyes, letting the melody pass through me, but suddenly I was overwhelmed by a female voice. It was deep and beautiful, but full of heaviness and threat. My skin crawled and I grabbed Sandra's hand. What is she singing about? Oh, it's a very old song by a famous Romanian singer, Maria Tănase, but in a modern remaster. It's a curse song. Curse? Yes, it goes. They who love and betray, leaving the loved ones behind, may they be punished by heaven. Even a tiny ant keeps his word, but people's words are dishonest. I was shaking with fear and despair. The curse is playing for me. My words proved to be empty and dishonest. I've abandoned the one who's dearest to my heart, and the punishment is already coming. I felt my head spin and mumbled absent-mindedly, "Good night." Under the surprised stares of my friends, I ran upstairs. I still couldn't come to my senses even in my room. First a poem, then a song. It's like the whole world is blaming me. As it should. As if I'm not feeling bad enough. You should probably feel worse. Sandra came to check on me and I told her I was fine. I got into the bed but I couldn't fall asleep. Then I unwrapped the paintings. Great. Just want to do best ways to make yourself feel even worse. Alright, let's try to get through this as quickly as possible. Lil was looking at the new dresses and they flickered before her eyes. Shahi Katan, why do I need so many dresses? This bitch still here? God damn. Not that many for a girl of your status, so which one are you wearing? I'm a fan of purple. Let's comb you. What a beauty you are. Something for your hair wouldn't hurt, though. What a pity I can't wear the tiara Uncle Murad gave me. When I dropped it under Geese's hooves last summer, it was almost destroyed. Her tutor smiled mysteriously and gave her a jewel box. Lo opened it and saw her tiara, but with a different form and new jewels. I took it to a jeweler and he redid it. Oh, but it's very expensive. Did you spend your own money? What else did I need it for? I can't take it with me to the afterlife. Come on, try it on. Don't try to make up for anything. You're not forgiven. Let's go special. The respect to you in the palace has strengthened. Ah, so beautiful. Now everyone will know right away you're the Sultan's favorite niece. A good deal of, that's done me. Having respect in this palace. Respect for a woman in this palace is like basically nothing. That's done me like zero good. Lil walked into the library but stopped as she saw the other visitors. Sultan Murad was sitting at the table, pulling his head on his hand wearily. Khalil Pasha was standing next to him. In front of them there was a map on the table. The Sultan's personal doctor, Shivani, was serving a drink to the Padishah. My lord, here's a healing sherbet for you. It's made of the petals of violets, water lilies, and spice. It's good for your blood and nerves. Your violets can't help me, Shivani. They turned around as they heard the girl come in. Lil bowed, scared. I'm sorry, my lord, I didn't know. I will leave. Hold on, dear. Sit down. Pasha and I were almost done here, and we'll leave soon. You can do whatever you want. Lil bowed again and sat down next to him. As I said, Padishah, now's the perfect moment to attack Svetigrad. Skanderbeg is at war with the Venetians. The fortress is not protected. If we take the stronghold, the road to Albany will be open. Request the Albanian League. The Sultan clenched his fist and hit the table. The damn League. Yes, we're marching. Gather everyone. It'll be the most powerful army the Balkans have ever seen. I'll conquer the fortress and crush this traitor Skanderbeg. The Sultan went red. The doctor got worried. My lord, you shouldn't be nervous. Skanderbeg, I appointed a lifelong allowance of 100 ducats for his head. But there wasn't a single person in the whole of Albany who turned him over to me. People believe he's a godsend. He has never been wounded in a battle, and there are legends about his strength. The Sultan went even redder. The vizier caught himself. Dude, don't think about him now. You need to remind your health. That's right, think of something nice. Yeah, you seriously need to mind your health, because if you die, There's no one left but that asshole. Who's not forgotten. Okay? Nice. Sultan produced a parchment scroll out of the folds of his clothes and gave it to his niece. Read it, my dear. There was a Dewan poem on the parchment. Lo read it out loud. When she was done, the Sultan took the scroll from her and reread some lines, clearly savoring them. Tulips will disappear soon. Autumn is coming. I've turned to dust, but my heart's still afraid of pain and sadness. What do you think? What a beautiful Dewan. It conveys sensations so well. These are the thoughts of a very well-educated and smart person. Who's the author? Sazad Mehmed, my son. Sultan laughed, enjoying their astonished faces. As I could hardly believe it myself when Mustafa Hojam showed me. Apparently, Mehmed has been writing to him on science matters and sharing his poems and thoughts. I'm very glad about it, and I want to bring Mehmed along to the march on Svetigrad. I've already called for him, and soon he'll arrive at the palace. Dude. It's a ploy. Now he's learned his lesson. He's trying to lure you in with honey. He's gonna stab you in the back so he can take over. There'll be nothing anybody can do. Low and pale, and the Sultan noticed it. Sure, my darling, I remember. But he's really changed. Give him a chance. You're a fool. I think you'll regret it. I'm supposed to be nice. I'm supposed to have soul light. Should we try? Should we say that we believe that he's changed? I don't believe it. I'm just telling you now. A person who writes poetry like this cannot be evil. Leo. Don't be Leia. That's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard you say. But you know what? I clicked it. It's my fault. Your opinion of Mehmed has improved. Thank you, my dear. Your heart is very kind. The Sultan's respect towards you has strengthened. A good deal that's going to do me when he's dead. My padishah will start the preparations for the march immediately. Lord. You know what? We're going to try to turn over a new leaf. Like with Noah, we're going to try to turn over a new leaf. And maybe we'll be surprised. But unlike with Noah, I hated Noah. But Mehmed was such a disgusting pig. I can't. There's nothing that's ever going to make me like him as a character. Like, he was absolutely depraved. I can't. Vizier Balin has already turned to the door when he remembers something. Lokatan, I've got a letter from Safi for you. He gave her a tidily sealed scroll. Oh, thank you. Lo hid the scroll in her secret pocket. The vizier left and the doctor followed him. Sultan got up as well, but he took several steps and stopped, looked out the window pensively. Mehmed was out of luck from the start. I never became a good follower to him, and his mother was the most miserable girl at the harem. But you turned your attention to her, and I guess you left her? Sultan turned around. Next to how I respect the Sultan will be open with you. Yes. Huma wasn't especially beautiful, smart, or cheerful-natured. Just a girl, one of the hundreds at the harem. But one day I was walking in the garden and I happened to see her. Huma thought she was alone, so she was drawing a little house on the ground and daydreaming out loud. And I, the great Padishah Murad II, give you, my beloved Huma Khatan, this house. Thank you, my love. I'll always be waiting for you here. You're the strongest and the kindest. She kept talking about me, so naive, but so full of love and admiration. Could never have thought that unassuming girl was hiding so many feelings from me. Where it turned out I wasn't the only one watching her. Several girls stepped out from the other side of the garden. Oh, great beloved Sultan, haha. I'm giving you this house and all the palace, beautiful Huma. They were teasing her, grabbing her hands and hair rudely. She cried. Did you stand up for her? Yes. Huma spent that night in the Sultan's chambers and the next one. I grew accustomed to her, and half a year later I made her wish become true. I built her a house in the various spots she was drawing it, then the Med was born. He sighed. The feelings aren't forever. As time went by, other girls started appearing in my chambers and Hema wasn't there as often anymore. Sultan shook his head, chasing the memories away. I'm sorry, Lil, the story is not for the ears of a young girl. I've become sensitive and talkative lately. I guess it's my old age. He nodded at her and left the library. After Uncle Murad's story, Lil saw Hema's little house in the garden from a new perspective. Each corner was whispering to her about the sad story. The dog was lying by her feet, yawning constantly. She was looking at the canvas with her mother's portrait, but Lil was drawing almost mechanically, absorbed in her thoughts. She became alert to a noise. It seemed to her someone's face appeared in the bushes for a second, but she wasn't sure. Lil looked around, frightened. Deanna cocked her ears and growled. Hush, we're hiding. There were no signs of movement anymore, but Lil decided to hide the portrait inside anyway. Instead, she carried out the canvas with a sketch of the sea for Neray. Even if someone comes here, they'll see I'm drawing a seascape. She had to work again, but it didn't feel right. The sea just wasn't good. She heard a quiet whistle from the bushes, a secret sign of their little group. Happy Dog ran to greet Lil's friends. Aslan sat down to pat her cheeks. Diana, our wonderful dog. Glad I had a different approach. How do you greet a guest? Sit, shake, good girl. Hey, Lil, what a pretty puddle you're drawing. What? Val looked at his friend reproachfully. Aslan, how dare you? It's not a puddle. It's a pita, just slightly moldy. Plaid. Diana, woof at them. The dog only yawned. Three of them laughed. Just in case, I want you to know we were kidding. Yes, your paintings are always amazing. It's the only reason we let ourselves speak nonsense of them. We'll look at the canvas again. No, I don't like this one either. I'm trying to draw something I've never seen. I know the sea is rough, foaming, raging, but I just can't convey it. Foaming and raging? We should go to the waterfall. It might inspire you. What do you say, Lil? Yeah. The relationship with both friends has improved. The waterfall was rather remote, but they spent the whole time talking. And now Lil was looking at the view amazed. Ah, that's a pretty picture. The stream of water went down the curves of the hill in a gracious cascade. It looked gentle and relaxed at the top, but down at the bottom, the power of water hitting the ground was undeniable. Let's come closer? Nah, there's splashes, ugh. He doesn't like water. Aslan shuddered. Vlad looked at him with a subtle smile. Alright, it's a nice place here as well. He threw a blanket on the ground and sat down. Vlad was in the middle and the boys were flanking her. She laid out on the parchment on her lap and took to sketching. All of them fell silent. They didn't feel like talking about the sounds of the forest and the water and the surrounding fragrances. There was no need for words. Complete trust and understanding between the friends made up tenfold for every word unsaid. Here, in this heavenly nook, next to her two closest friends, Lil felt inspiration indeed. Waves, foam, and the splashes started appearing on the parchment. The painting was finally becoming lifelike. When Aslan noticed that the rays of sun falling through the leaves are uncomfortable to Lil, he got up and threw his cloak over the branches. There you go. Now it won't shine in your eyes. The idea was great, but tiny petals rained down on Lil's hair. Oh, sorry. Oh my god. He sat down next to her and started untangling them from her locks. His fingers weren't that nimble, so a couple of times Lil got a tug on her hair, but she only smiled. The efforts of her friend and his care about her mattered so much more. Alright, another one. There you go. Thank you. Vlad was helping Lil too. He was sharpening the drawing coals with the edge of his blade and passing them to Lil one by one. A speck of dust tickled Lil's nose, and she rubbed it with her palm. Vlad smiled. Now her nose was covered in black coal spots. Hold still. He took a lily-white handkerchief from his pocket and reached for his friend's face. You shouldn't smear it. It's so pretty. But Vlad wasn't accepting her objections. That's what it's for. He wiped off the coal from her nose tenderly, then blew on it. That's better. Lil leaned over her drawing again, and Vlad looked at the stony hill with the waterfall. Looks like there's a passage on the right. We can get to the cave and see the waterfall from inside. Let's see. Aslan shuddered again. I'll pass. What about you, Lau? But I'm staying with Aslan, coming with you. I think we should go. As in, like, leave the waterfall? I'm not certain on this one. Because I was hoping that would mean, like, we can kind of convince Aslan to come with us. But I'm gonna go. Are you sure? Not afraid of getting wet? No, we could dry in the sunshine like this in no time. Go ahead, I'll wait for you here. Lo got a bit soaked in dew as they climbed under the waterfall, but now there was a living wall of water roaring and seething within her arm's reach. The cave was much colder than the outside, and the wet dress made Lel tremble. Are you cold? A bit. Vel approached her from behind and hid her in his embrace. The girl's fragile shoulders were pressed against his firm chest, and Vlad's arms became her reliable shield. Now she was much warmer, and the shudder calmed down slowly. Vlad and Lel were standing together in a narrow, semi-dark space cut from the world with a wall of water, and they liked it. They were taking in the magic of living water, listening to his whispers and feeling each other's breaths. Suddenly, Lel thought water was just as blue as Vlad's eyes and felt like seeing them. She turned to him. Their eyes met and didn't want to part ever again. Vlad was admiring Lel's face gently and very attentively. The face of a young, brave girl who became his soulmate in this hostile land. Her fragility and vulnerability proved to be a powerful force able to melt the steel of his character and the ice of his soul. The unity of their gazes and thoughts reached a point that inevitably led to physical unity. Vlad leaned into her and slowly touched her lips with his. The first touch, gentle, careful, tender, hot skin meeting hers and his. The burning senses of all body gathered at the lips, his and hers. A short touch, just for a moment. But this moment stretched and filled them with more sensation than hours or years. Lel felt not only their lips unite, but something much more important, their hearts and souls. The touch was interrupted, but each of them was carrying an imprint on their lips, a memory for years to come, or maybe even centuries. Vlad and Lel stayed in the cave for a while and returned to Aslan. The three of them headed home. So cute. When they returned to the garden house, it was already getting dark. Lel dusted her dress and felt something in her pocket. A letter from Safi. I'd forgotten about it. From Romelia? Yes. Will you read it? Lel tore open the scroll. The letter started strangely. There was no greeting. Lo-Katan, you're in mortal danger. It's a horrible, absurd mistake. It's my fault and it might destroy you. Oh, the painting. As we left in a hurry, we missed the chest and... They heard noise and rapid footsteps on the other side of the fence. A whole squad of the palace guards barged into the yard. Stay where you are. We're searching the house. Aslan and Vlad grabbed their sword handles and covered Lel with their backs. What's happening? Who gave you the right? Lo-Katan, you're suspected of concealing the prohibited paintings. We've got an order. Who gave it? The education minister. Me. I know Lo-Katan has broken the sacred law multiple times. She's painting people. Hold on. The soldiers were already trashing the house. Soon they brought two paintings outside, the portraits of Hassan and Aisha. No. Another village slowly walked in. Yavuz Pasha bowed obligingly. There you go, my Padishah. And now you didn't believe me. Now you see it with your own eyes. Okay. And I guess we'll deal with that next time. I came to my senses shaking. No, poor Lel. I grabbed my instrument, took to clean the paint off to come back. But soon I realized all my efforts were in vain. Even if I do come back, what can I do? I have no power over those events. These are the memories. I can only watch the tragedy unfold. I heard loud noises and dishes breaking from the living room downstairs. I ran out of the room. A worried Leo joined me and we rushed down together. Sandra was there. Her fingers. Sandra. Pale, with insane dilated pupils, she was circling the room. Haushreen's hands were hitting objects and they were crashing to the floor. It looked frightening, but I ran to her. I pushed myself through her chaotic hand movements and tried to hug her. She froze. Sandra's palms light on my shoulders and squeezed them with a force I never knew she had. Oh. Leah was immediately next to us. Sandra's eyes closed and her legs gave in. Leo caught her and carried her to the sofa. Followed them, caressing her cheeks, bringing her to life. Sweetie, wake up. Huh? Sandra opened her eyes and blinked confusedly. Are you okay? What happened? I don't know. It's like I fell somewhere. Something was flashing before my eyes. I told her how it looked. Oh, do you remember what I said? I remember only Sanjay. It's blood, right? Yes. There was another word I remember from the song they put on. Punishment, retribution. Sandra wanted to get up, but she was too weak. Looked at her hands. They were covered in bruises, and there was a cut on one of them. We need to sanitize it. I'll get the first aid kit. Leo tried to get up, but Sandra caught his forearm. Her voice turned very anxious. Her fingers were shaking. Hold on. No, it doesn't matter now. Another thing does. Please, go to the castle. The castle? Why? To Vlad. What's up with him? I don't know, but I can see something very bad. He must be there now. While Leah and I were driving to the castle, the dawn broke. We left the car by the gates and ran to the entrance, but stopped in front of it. Could Sandra be wrong? I'm thinking the same thing. Surrounding was absolutely peaceful. Castle towers seemed quiet and sleepy in the rays of the morning sun. Some workers were hustling in front of the castle, carrying something inside. Noah stepped out of the castle. Oh, I see you're missing us already. Where's Vlad? We need to see him. Everything was calm in the castle as well. Noah pointed at a door and Leo headed there. I stepped forward as well, but cut myself short. Are you sure he wants to see you now, my lady? It was the same question that stung my heart a moment ago. There you go. I'll wait for you here. He nodded, knocked, and disappeared behind the door. Mother, can you help me in the meantime? How? He didn't have a chance to answer. Several men looking very imposing walked into the castle. I recognized one of them. It was a steward from the plane, but he didn't look like a steward at all now. Where did he come from? Good morning, gentlemen. What brings you here? The young man pointed at his companions. These are Mr. Ruthven's lawyers. We have a meeting appointed. Oh? Why here? Because Mr. Ruthven lives here. I'd say he had been living. Had been living. Ted Grant looked at his wristwatch and approached Ruthven's door, knocking loudly. Mr. Ruthven. Waited for a while, but there was no answer. Hit the door again, harder this time. It flew open, the room was empty. Then walked in, looking around suspiciously, but stepped back out a couple of moments later. He's not here. Maybe he decided not to outstay his welcome and left? He wouldn't leave, and all his belongings are here. What did you do to him? He can't go slay around accusations. Ted's question was aimed behind our backs. We turned around. I like him in turtleneck. First of all, he had no business being here. He was trespassing. And I will vouch with my life that he attacked Vlad and it was self-defense. I'm telling you. He was trespassing. He does not own any part of this building. Okay? He had no right to be here. Nobody told him to go lock his ass up in that room. How am I feeling about this episode? I wasn't outrageously mad playing it. But I don't think I can ever give it 5 stars until her character is fixed. Oh no. So we're in trouble in the past. We'll see how far that respect from the palace gets me. If that does anything to change this disposition of the people there or whatever. But who knows? Who knows? We'll also see if Mehmed stabs Sultan in the back. And then we're going to be stuck with him. I'll have to deal with that. We'll see if Noah has actually changed. Or is more sensible now. So we'll see. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and show the like button some love. Subscribe to see more content like this. And I will see you next time. Bye.